everybody, welcome back to Indiethon. We're raising money for puppies behind bars. If you want to help us out and donate, you can find the button for that below the stream or in the chat by typing !donate. We also have a lot of cool prizes and incentives, which you can also find below the stream. And with that, I'm happy to announce our next run, which is going to be Unravel 2 in an any % co-op run by ripWSB and Runner 2, which name I don't know. So take it away, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm ceebs5.
Runner 2.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, very often I am player 2 in a lot of co-op games, so I'm very comfortable with that title.
Yeah, this is Unravel 2. We got this little cutscene that we can just kind of skip through, and then once we pick our colors and see this little intro, time will start when we start moving ourselves. So we'll count down once we get there. The main trick in any co-op runs of this game is something called a zoop, and basically if you turn off auto grab, you can have one of the yarnies, these little characters, like magically fly to the other one. And so that's going to be pretty much what we do this entire run, just applying that one trick over and over in different ways. And if you do that with a front flip, which can happen one of two ways, you can either naturally in the game, sometimes there's like 4 or 5 spots where it'll give you a front flip, or if you do a swing off a knot or an anchor point, you can sometimes get front flips. But there's one right when we start the game where we can actually go backwards of where we're supposed to go. Usually, like the first 6 chapters of this 7-chapter run, you're going left to right the whole time. And then in chapter 7, it swapped it up for the first half just to get crazy. But in chapter 1, for some reason, the end of the chapter is to the left. So we're going to try and get there and just pretty much skip the whole chapter.
Yeah.
So you want to do the countdown?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
From 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So what we're gonna do is set up for, and did I say it was a fling?
Yes.
So canceling a zoop while you're front flipping is gonna produce a fling. So we do a fling there to get her over the fence, and then hopefully this works.
Right.
It might be good.
Let's
It's a little
see.
low. And that's chapter 1.
We made it. All right, very good.
Hold up, there we go.
All right, yeah, we got to make sure
we got
that
the stumble.
as if we got the falling out of the bucket animation. If we were to play this, we would have fallen out of a bucket. But
So yeah, zoops are co-op only. And hopefully if things go well, it's going to be a lot of weird, crazy stuff like that for the rest of the run. The timing on all of this stuff is obviously super critical, and if we're just one of us is off a little bit, it kind of screws everything up.
you get very, very different outcomes. You can skip a level, or you can go
backwards. Get tangled, and tangled is like you get the yarn stuck between the 2 yarnies and you can't really move, and you got to restart a checkpoint. So this, we have no idea what's going to happen in this run.
Yes. It's kind of the joy of the any %.
Yeah, the fun and like the horror of this
the grind
run.
Yeah. So chapter 2 has another exciting skip, the skateboard skip, which is kind of another make or break thing with our any % runs. If you get a good skateboard, then you're all right. But
yeah, initially there was like 2 things that were super random that kind of made any % category necessary. There's actually a log where we did the chapter 1 skip, and you can do that in solo, and that's how we used to do the chapter 1 skip. And it's like 100% random. Nobody's figured out how to do a consistent setup, and it's this weird like physics interaction with the object,
which we will be doing with the skateboard. But thankfully we found out another way for the chapter 1 skip, because that way was pretty unreliable.
But the zoops themselves and like zoop cancels, you can cancel the mid-flight, the person flying to the other person, and that really broke the co-op run open.
Yeah.
When we started, it was mainly like you can zoop together. If somebody gets behind, you just kind of catch up, and it helped to like keep them together, but it wasn't really used for solving puzzles necessarily. But with the zoop cancels, it just completely changed how the co-op run is.
Yeah.
So even like the base category, the no major skips, is just all zoop cancels, and you don't really play much of the game, or like any of the puzzles basically.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do another technique. Ooh, I don't screw it up. And this is a neo climb or a goat climb.
Ooh.
And this is something you can do in solo, and that really changed how the solo run is done, where you can just magically climb up these walls super fast.
All right.
So we're gonna try for a swing fling. And it's basically the same thing where we're trying to get a front flip off of a swing and then do that fling, that zoop cancel while you're front flipping. So we'll do another one here. And if you time that well, which is kind of tough because you can't see the Yarny, so you're just kind of, once you figure out a timing that works, you just hope it still works. Oh, are we not even gonna make it over that?
I don't think we are. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. So there's an invisible wall here that we're just gonna go climb over. And then we'll wait for these little... So these are like the main enemies of the game. They'll show up in various chapters. Pretty much the Yarnies are like these little guardians of two kids that we saw for a half second.
Yeah.
And
they were there.
all like the enemies, these black shadowy dust bunny looking things are kind of like the negative emotions, and the Yarnies kind of represent the positive emotions and stuff. So basically, we're going to be following these kids around and just kind of guarding them and... Ooh.
Well, I'm...
Come up and I'll put you back. So we're trying to set up for another ground fling. Ooh! That's not a good one.
Are we tangled?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So we got lucky and untangled there. Yeah, we're going to be pretty much going for every ground or swing fling that we can, just because... Why not?
Why not?
So, for better or for worse, something's gonna happen. We're gonna try for a little fling here. Oh.
I wasn't. I thought that was gonna be a 2-1. I don't know why.
Nah.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun challenge of co-op speedrunning is you can't read your partner's mind.
Yeah, you both gotta be on point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite co-op games we've played, especially as far as the speedrun, just because
sure.
There's so much coordination that has to happen.
It's a lot of fun.
In timing and kind of communication, and if something doesn't go right, like what do you do as a backup? And
a lot of the times it's also another piece to figure out, like, is it me? Is it the game?
Yeah.
Or is it this person that I cannot control at all?
Well, this is going to be...
That's
kind of the original thing of why any percent was created. So if you get a Yarny on either side of an object like this, and just kind of hold or move around or jump, sometimes this weird crap. Alright, I'm gonna restart it.
Yeah, that's not the direction we were hoping.
We're not trying to go left anymore. Everything else is gonna be going to the right as far as we know.
Yeah.
So we'll give one more shot. We'll have Ceebs Runner 2 go underneath. She seems to have a lot more luck than I do, so hopefully... Come on. Come on! It's trying!
It's trying.
Come on. Come on.
Alright.
You're just restarting... Oh.
Please.
Okay, we tried.
We tried. We did try. Maybe the fling? Are we trying the fling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can sometimes take the skateboard and it'll propel you all the way to the end.
Yeah.
If only we could do a kickflip. Alright, we're going to try for a ground fling instead. We're gaming. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's just skip it all.
Good old 80%,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, let's... While we're here.
You want to try more?
Why not?
I want to.
Baby.
We made it over, which was our ultimate goal, I guess.
But yeah, there's a lot of running, jumping, swinging, kind of in between the puzzles. And then once we get to these, I mean, quote-unquote puzzles, it's not too hardcore as far as the gameplay goes. They definitely made
Wow.
the second game a little bit more friendly towards people, because they ultimately want, you know, if you have adults playing with their kids or friends playing together, you don't want to make the base game too crazy hard. The first Unravel was a bit more complicated and kind of condensed, so this one's got, just keep going.
Yep, that was...
Just kind of has a more relaxed main story, and then there's a bunch of challenge levels to kind of bring that difficulty if you didn't get it during the main game. And there's 20 of these challenge levels that are pretty legit challenging. We struggled for a few of them when we first like casually played.
Oh, smacked into the tire.
But those are pretty fun runs too. Oh, my bad. See if we can just like make it work.
We made it. Oh.
Oh, is it really gonna tangle now?
What? Okay,
there we go.
Yeah. All right.
So sometimes you can just like brute force yourself out of a tangle.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out, but
yeah, and sometimes the string just goes absolutely crazy. Those are always funny. All right.
But yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of zoop cancels, a lot of fling attempts. Mm-hmm. For the no major skips and then kind of restricted major skips categories, all the zoops are allowed. In restricted major skips, you can't go out of bounds. So that's the main difference between what we call NMS and RMS. Then in any percent, you're allowed the flings, which are somewhat random. Like the setups are not random, but what happens after you do the fling is up in the air. Like sometimes you get some crazy flings that will propel you to the, oh no, the end of a chapter or the beginning of the chapter. Ooh, roll reversal.
Except for I'm not quick enough to do the pipe thing like you are.
I'm just gonna do the old
way.
We'll do it both ways.
We'll do a combo. Yeah, any percent, be prepared for anything.
But
like this.
the no major skips and restricted major skips are pretty fun too, because it's less hoping the game helps you out and more of like you controlling your own destiny. So it's a good way to definitely practice zoops and zoop cancels, because that's basically all you're doing the whole run. And then once you get those timings down, you can kind of move on to any percent and try the crazy random stuff you're feeling so inclined. So it's a nice mix of categories as far as what's allowed and what to do. We're gonna try for a ground fling. Ooh, that might be.
Okay.
Hold it. Let's just go for it.
Let's just go for it.
Sometimes you can.
This is the gap in the middle. We didn't make it.
Messed up. So there's a hole in between where we were and the very end of the chapter, and we ended up right
in the hole.
We got greedy. This one's gonna be safe at least.
Okay, yeah, we're safe.
We'll take it. That's what we get. We usually don't go that far, so we're just like, let's go.
Let's just try. And the checkpoint's quick enough, so. And that's kind of another strat with this game, is knowing when to reset your checkpoints, knowing how long to spend trying to just untangle yourself. There's some bad checkpoints in later chapters where if you screw up, you could lose a good bit of time. Yeah. And sometimes you make the wrong choice.
Here we're going to be trying to do a set of zoop cancels together. We've kind of coined it like juggling.
I wasn't right, sorry.
So we're going to try and do a few juggles to get her up top. Ooh, that was close. Those little vents, when you fall in, it like shoots you out. So you can balance kind of on the lip of those and then just try and zoop cancel your way up.
Yeah. And with the juggle, with each zoop cancel, you're getting just a little bit more height, which is just all we need.
But yeah, now you can see the kids that were kind of following around. We're going to be trying to skip cutscenes and a lot of like story elements of the game, so you may not see those kids a lot. Hopefully if things go well, you don't see the kids like at all. Or some of the like the main chapter animals that we interact with. So
yeah, so no spoilers, you're good to go.
That is definitely a Rubik's Cube.
Yes, but but the colors aren't right, so it's an off-brand. Which I appreciate. It's like a Dollar General Rubik's Cube.
It's a Rubik's Cube. So this Lighthouse is going to be our kind of main hub area where we go in between the main chapters, and then you also have the challenge levels that kind of spur off of chapters 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So they each have their own set of like 4 challenge levels, I think, because it's a total of 20. So we're hopping into chapter 3. We had a change of scenery. I wish you could like interact with it and solve the cube. Unlock like turbo speed or something. So if 3 goes well, it's basically like 3 ground flings and you're out of the chapter, but
that'd be a really And usually if a chapter goes well, then the next one right immediately after it goes poorly. So I don't know why I didn't. I don't know if I was late or if you were.
We're gaming.
We're gaming.
But you see the kids again, and we're just gonna be kind of following them along. There'll be these like shadowy figures kind of throughout the game. That's a decent one.
Oh, except for we got caught on the invisible wall and then died.
It was right before the. Yeah.
Sure is.
You just go right. Yeah. Unfortunate.
That's okay.
We'll try for a swing fling instead.
Yeah, 80% is really good exercise in accepting your failures.
You can see the party going wrong in the background.
Kick percent.
What you see, I guess at the beginning of 2, we kind of skipped over and didn't really talk about it, but it looks to be like some sort of orphanage or like adoption center. And one of the kids is like trying to escape and the other one's kind of helping them get out of that situation. So we see remnants of that, like these shadowy adults that I guess are the bad people of the story.
The adults are definitely associated with those like Dust Bunny characters, those negative kind of aspects.
That's why like the Sparkle always goes after them, and they're always like fighting with the Sparkles. We'll try for a big old ground fling coming out of this barn.
Let's try.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Yes, another failure to accept right there.
Right. Just boost out of the barn.
Okay. Isn't speedrunning always about accepting your failures? Yes, that's a very good point. It sure is.
This run definitely is.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Okay, I'm just gonna...
So since we did not get that ground fling, instead of watching that cutscene again, we're just gonna do a restricted major skip, where you can just go out of bounds and skip that whole thing.
Yeah, with things, the timing of things are so specific. I'm kind of not surprised that didn't work.
We take what we can get, but we don't expect a lot. So
it's a pleasant surprise if it happens.
Yeah. The ground flings more so than the swing flings because the timing seems to be a lot more tight. And the mistakes for ground flings usually end up being tangles, so it's not ideal. We're gonna try for another ground fling here. I'm gonna go first. This one is super time sensitive.
Yeah, I'm watching his jumps.
I'm undone, so I think okay.
Okay, turkey.
We're good.
Okay, not a turkey. It's a grouse. So
it does look like a turkey, though.
This thing is terrifying. Is terrifying. This portion of the game, once you play it casually, the music builds, the scene builds, and then all of a sudden this thing is chasing you and loves to just destroy you. So the fact that we are landing just like right next to its mouth with that one is a fun one.
Yeah, this game is a little bit broken.
Yeah.
That is indeed a fact.
At least the co-op one.
Yeah.
The solo seems to still be
It's
pretty
minimally broken.
Yeah, pretty unbroken.
You can climb up walls and stuff, but you can't.
But that's
fly.
That was, yeah, we call that the Neo climb, because someone casually found that. It's just Neophenom, I think it was.
We're intentionally losing a little bit of time here. We're gonna try and glitch this bird.
Oh
so
yeah.
At the end of the chapter, you will
Okay.
hopefully see 2 birds.
Yes, if you're wondering why we're going
So
backwards.
don't do this normally, yeah.
Yeah, this is just for fun.
Okay, let's see if we can. Hopefully
So
this
there was a debate for a while on how many birds there are in this game. Turns out there's a lot of them.
Yeah, like each section kind of has its own bird.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that bird with the can that Ceebs moved is always there.
Yeah.
So it makes that ground fling into that area really scary, because if you don't grab the knot and you die, you go all the way back, because there's not really a checkpoint that you go through. And that's the other problem, is zooping sometimes will just, if you run through a checkpoint but are zooping at the time that you go through a checkpoint, it won't register that checkpoint. So there's also just like casual spots where if you don't play smartly, it could affect you negatively.
Yeah, there was a part of that ground fling by the crane we tried. We purposely go forward a little bit further to get a checkpoint, because it's super punishing if we don't. It's worth just going up there and grabbing it real fast.
Nice, we get some wooded action coming up, a little bit of some lake action.
Yeah, and most of the story here is just like kids being kids. If you guys played the first Unravel game, I mean, you're getting some absolutely stunning, emotional, beautiful gameplay, but this has kind of stepped away a little bit from the story in such a visual way, and has tried to tell the story more through like the co-op interactions and the movements.
More
and
like
stuff.
a game, not necessarily as much of an emotional pool as the first game.
Yeah.
Which was, I still think, one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For when it came out and what it did, still blows me away. That like opening cutscenes look so realistic. It's crazy.
Super fun game. I like them both.
And I like how they've kind of rationalized in Unravel 2. The Yarnies move a lot quicker and they feel more like Yarn. And they're more agile. They got the wall jumps, and you can swing faster.
They flip now.
And it's kind of like chalked up to, since they're kind of the guardian spirits of these kids, that they embody like the kids' youthfulness. So how the first Unravel game was kind of clunky in how it moved, just because it was, you know, the first Unravel game, and then they chalk it up to like, you know, you're watching over this old lady, so of course you're kind of old and move a little bit slower and kind of clunky with your movement. Please go further than that. That works. That's fine.
It's fine. We're safe, which is usually good enough for me. But that one's a little bit more interesting. That branch moves, and that definitely does affect things.
Yeah, trying to do swings when the anchor point that you usually use isn't stable. A little weird.
I don't think we've mentioned P-swings. They're
Whoops.
P-swings is kind of like another move we have in our toolkit that we use to navigate our environment, and it's when I was not.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was a bad idea, but sorry. Continue.
My bad. That's when Yarny A is holding onto a knot or an anchor point of some kind. Yarny B is then hanging onto Yarny A. So you'll
see it here. It's kind of weird to explain, but basically there's like a Yarny anchor point in between, and it allows for the swing to be a lot longer, and then you have a lot more swing momentum when you come out together. But it only helps in co-op because you can conserve that momentum with a zoop. Whoops. So you can do, while you can do like a partner swing in solo, you can't stay together at the end, so it's no flippies.
No flippies!
Man, this game is not liking us right now.
No.
And we always chalk it up to like the game's mad at you or something.
Oh yeah.
Like the more you break the game, the more the game's like, nah, you're not gonna do this right here.
Oh, you want flips? You're not getting flips.
You think you're gonna skip a chapter? Well, have fun playing this chapter. Oh, that was good.
That was nice. Okay.
Comes and goes.
It really does. And then I missed the log. That was good.
All right, we'll try another swing. Basically, if we come to a knot, we're gonna most likely be trying to fling from it. Oh, I thought it was late.
Because the reality is it can skip a chapter.
Yeah.
So you always want to try.
First one?
First one? None!
I don't think I flipped again.
None. No flips that time.
Man.
That happened in...
Well, we gotta see a fish. That's fine.
Yeah. Do you want to try the flips on the oar?
Nah.
You want to try
like,
from the last
just
one?
do like the normal.
Alright. Where is he? Okay.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna do a P-swing, sorry.
Dang.
I was scared.
Yeah. That's why P-swings don't work for one player, because one person's left behind.
Because you can't zoop and... Oh, we got the fish. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't done the fish in so long.
Oh, the fish.
Maybe we'll get the fish.
Maybe.
All right, so there's a weird like visual glitch where sometimes at the very end the fish will come out and eat you when it shouldn't be there. I don't remember what we have to do for it.
I forgot about that.
But
yeah, if you skip knocking them, giving them a bonk, then
what we were trying to do is if you keep one person before the fish chase scene and then zoop once you get past a certain lily pad, you can just skip that whole fish trigger. So you can almost make it through the whole chapter without seeing this kind of... If you play the game casually, you know this fish. You know the bird, you know the fish because they are
terrifying.
Relentless. Yeah, just going at you nonstop.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and that fish section also has really bad checkpoints, so it's...
Yeah, if you die at all before you get past the fish, you start back at the beginning.
It's pretty punishing. So usually we just like to skip the fish altogether.
Yeah, just in case.
It's hard to remember all these little things when
Yeah.
you're also talking.
But that's chapter 4. I like chapter 4 story-wise because you don't really see the kids in like doing like having to escape from the adults or anything. They're just kind of chilling at the lake at the end. I guess you don't really see them much during the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the calm before the storm, and then 5, 6, and 7 get a little weird.
Yeah. I also wish I had a cute little guardian Yarny.
We do.
We did. Well, yeah, I guess we did have. But we were reading about kind of some of the inspiration about it, and this is Coldwood
Interactive. Yeah.
Coldwood Interactive.
Little indie team.
From Sweden that makes this. So there's a lot of Swedish influences and pulls from Swedish childhood and things that are very personal to them. And
yeah, the first game especially, I think, had like events that they had kind of witnessed around their area as far as like environmental things. I know one of the levels was like that.
So the official name for these creatures are Yarnies. There's a couple of Yarnies, but they were originally using a word that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it was a Swedish word for a being, but specifically a being in some sort of folk tale, which I really like. That they have a vocab word for that. Like it's a being, but no, it's not one that you're going to see anytime soon. And that's kind of with the idea of how they created these Yarnies.
As far as story goes, you see the kids. The adults have dogs now. It's kind of escalated, and they've made their way into this weird factory. And
Hey, let me know when I have a quick moment.
oh yeah, you're good.
Awesome. All right. I just quickly want to let everybody know that we still have a donation incentive up for the next game after this very cute game. Primal Light, the next game. We have a donation incentive there to upgrade the speedrun category from any percent relaxed to 100%. Currently we're $25 out of 50 there. And obviously we would like to reach that. So in the next half an hour-ish, if we can raise $25 more, that'd be really cool to upgrade that to 100%. And yeah, if you didn't know, we're raising money for puppies behind bars. So puppies are great. they're very cute and fluffy, like Yarnies. And that was a perfect segue to get back to the speedrun.
Absolutely true, though. Yeah, we were quite delighted to read about this charity here, halfway there to that next incentive. So, if you were lucky enough to have the means to donate, please consider doing so. Yes, I was early.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool program that I at least hadn't heard anything about before. I was like, that's
Yeah,
like all of this sounds pretty neat.
and
So I'm pretty excited to be a part of that for sure.
and at least able to know about it now, which is the first step of helping someone, is knowing that it exists. This is chapter 5. This is probably my least favorite. It's a lot of one-player heavy gameplay, so actually you coming in there was perfect timing, because even though Rip is doing a great job here, as I forget what I'm doing, yeah, a lot of the times I kind of get distracted because the strategy between being together and not being together.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that you can't zoop back together if you get separated and get far behind. There's so much machinery and stuff in the way that it's really not conducive to, at least for us, to separate and take that risk of getting tangled. Ooh, this might be okay. This might be scary, actually.
Okay,
So this is like the 1 in 3 where a ground fling is nice, we're safe.
Okay.
It's super scary because if we landed a little bit to the left there, those pipes going up and down, if you're not really fast with your reflexes, sometimes you'll just slide down into your death and then you go all the way back. No, I'm dead. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying.
I was like, there's no way that... But yeah, that section you have to be prepared to do some wall jumps, and sometimes you just not ready.
And that is a quick example of having a good co-op partner that knows when you're not going to make something and has the smarts to hold up and make sure somebody stays alive. So huge shout out to Ceebs for being the better half of this relationship and co-op partnership.
I mean, most times you just miss the mark completely. Sometimes you're lucky enough to... Oh, it's a shorty.
That's fine. I don't want to go too far.
Okay.
Don't want to risk it.
This is...
So this is the co-op version of this box skip, where usually you will jump into the box that's to the left of this one, but you can get a kind of a head start if you... What we did was just swing over, and single player you can jump off the edge of the first box that kind of comes out. We kind of skip that part, so you don't really see what we're talking about. But one of the cool advantages is this box is open when you get to this part, and you can still...
It's supposed to have a lid.
Yeah, see the little packages inside, so... Just a little visual glitch, but it does save a little bit of time as well.
Oh! I'm behind. Okay. That's fine.
Alright, come on, ground fling. It might get up and over.
Okay.
At least skip one room. Nah. We might fall into the void though.
I don't know where we are.
We might be in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Maybe.
Oh,
'Cause
we're
we didn't
not
go
over
like far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Where are we?
we can... Are you holding right?
Yeah, are you?
No, yeah. Are we
We
underneath?
may come through. Oh, cool. We've never been here before. Is that solid? Yes, it is. Okay.
That is
We're straight.
solid.
Is that a checkpoint? No!
No! Dang, I bet maybe we could have boosted up on top, but I'm not sure.
And that pretty much sums up 80%. That's what we do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend... Oh, that was scary. The first
we
game
stuck
as
in
much as the second game. Definitely two very different feeling games.
Yeah.
As far as the gameplay, it's a little bit clunkier platforming wise. But again, the game itself is very different. I like how different the games are, even though it's basically the same principle. It's all you, girl.
Scary.
Yeah.
I can't do that early cycle like you.
But highly recommend the first game as well as playing this one, especially if you have someone you can play the second game with.
Mm-hmm. And because we call it backpacking, but when you're attached, it's also really handy for people who aren't necessarily that interested in playing
Yeah,
the
or
game.
if you're playing with a kid that, or a friend even,
Yeah.
that isn't necessarily great at these sorts of platforming games, and you come to difficult sections, you don't necessarily have to do it separately.
Yeah.
Some puzzles you need to do casually separated, but for the most part, there's many different ways to play.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's always fun watching people play a casual run and then swinging, trying to stay alive, especially around the bird and the fish. Those are always great times.
Those parts also have some of my favorite music.
Yeah.
Both of these games, Unravel 1 and 2, just awesome soundtracks.
Really cool, chill
Fun.
songs.
Alright, juggle time.
Yeah, so there's a cutscene here we're gonna skip by going up and over it, basically. And then I gotta time my zoop, so you see that kind of gold with the yarn. That's, for some reason, this cutscene trigger is super high.
Yeah, we don't know why.
So we gotta go super high just to get past it.
I mean, that strat has gone through so many.
Alright, I'm backing up.
Okay.
The only part is once we get up top, the camera isn't... It's like you're not supposed to be here or something, so...
Yeah.
Can't really complain, but it does get kind of weird.
The camera tends to be our worst enemy. Truly.
That's chapter 5.
That's the factory.
I guess we missed the kid getting freed from the building they got locked into, but...
Right. Yeah, the kids were causing some trouble. Cannonball! Some more fun visual glitches with this game. Which we didn't get the fish lips at the end. That was fun. Before. That's okay.
Yeah. It's as if you're supposed to play the game how it's supposed to be played. It's kind of how really we started playing 80%, was like, how much of this game, how many cutscenes can we skip? Can we skip this one? Can we not skip this one?
Yeah.
I think there's only a handful that we haven't figured out a way to skip reliably yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one in this chapter that plagues me. It's my white whale. But there's still a couple that get through. Yeah, that's that last one where we had to juggle way up in the air. That one went through so many different versions.
Yeah.
And mostly because we were just trying to make it easier for ourselves, and that's somehow the easiest option that we.
Yeah, the juggle itself isn't necessarily something we would recommend.
No.
But
It's not very fast, but that cutscene's especially long. So.
yeah, I think it saves like anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds just not doing the cutscene.
Yeah.
But yeah, that takes us to chapter 6. So we got 6 and 7, and then we're done.
Yeah.
6 is pretty crazy. We get some
We're back in the woods.
environmental hazards again. So you get like the animal trouble in 3 and 4. You get the environmental OSHA,
Violation.
craziness in 5, and then this one, you're not going to see the woods catch on fire, but just take our word for it, and they do. Because we're going to skip that cutscene. Oh, didn't make it, my bad. There we go.
Alright.
But-
6. Love-hate relationship with this chapter, I think.
Yeah, there's one ground fling spot that's definitely going to be hit or miss.
With 5 and 6, with the introduction to like a lot of fire, it's just everything becomes
A lot of areas don't end up very well for the Yarnies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're gonna minimize, hopefully, the death toll on this one.
Okay.
So we'll try for a little. Whoops! If I can get up, a little mini fling here, just for S's and G's.
Okay, we are alive. We are alive. Good.
Mainly why we're trying to either fling or super swing past stuff is because the sections that you're just running and jumping, we don't find very interesting, and there are quite a few in the run, so we're trying pretty much anything we can do to just do something in between.
Yeah.
The puzzles themselves are fun to skip, and then those kind of just, I mean, they're beautiful sections, so I feel kind of bad skipping them, and especially the cutscenes, because the devs, they put so much effort,
Thought
love, and
yeah,
like they really care about these games, and part of us does feel bad every time.
Well, that's why we also play No Major Skips.
That's true, yeah. So if you do feel bad about skipping things that the developers spent lots of time in, you can watch those cutscenes. We have a category for that.
Yeah.
Or play solo, where you can see and do pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have options.
Options. Yeah, this one definitely see the least.
Yeah, if all goes well, you really don't see much of this game. Luckily, you've been able to see quite a bit because it hasn't been going super well.
Yeah, it hasn't been going well, but that's fine. That's kind of...
We're just trying not to ruin the story in case anybody wants to play casually.
Right.
Oh,
Thank you so much. So generous. All right.
But it's kind of funny that even in the...
Oh.
We'll do it old school. Even in like the most benign category, you're still skipping pretty much every puzzle. Like you don't actually do any of the puzzles. You're just kind of flying around them.
Yeah, the zoop cancels really changed. Like
a really good 80% run, you'll skip 80% of the game, and then a really good no major skips run, you skip like 70% of the game. It's just
accurate.
How much do you want to skip?
Yeah. So we are to these points where these smoldering ashy parts on the ground. We can jump on them twice. Any more than that, our little yarn feet can't.
Oh, I didn't expect to go through. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, little yarn feet can't handle it, and we'll burn up. So we get 2 jumps on these like coals, and we use the 2 jumps and merging together to our advantage. I didn't do it.
Fine.
By trying to cross more than 2 jumps.
Yeah, so we'll be using that. And shoutouts to Pokélix for finding this out.
Yeah.
I love the stuff that we didn't know about, but it just makes so much sense. Like if you unmerge and remerge in the air, oh, that's what I get for trying to talk.
I know, yeah.
If you do that in the air, you can just kind of reset your fire feet. Just kind of skip having to do that log roll.
Yeah, that log roll is slow going and it's really tricky.
Yeah, the log roll is actually, I feel like, more difficult than doing the skip.
I think so.
It's so, there's a big spot on the log where it'll like instantly kill you, and kind of moves at different speeds. All right, come on. Come on, game.
Ground fling setup here.
Yes, we got something at least.
Yes! Okay, let's see where we go, people.
All right, so, oh, not far.
Not that far. Wow.
Sad.
I'm gonna try to go for this knot.
If we ever come down there.
Oh, there we are.
But usually that'll take us to like pretty much the end of the chapter, so a little bit sad.
We got some good. Wow, there is a cut or a
nice
trigger. Yep.
Ooh.
What is it? Checkpoint. That's what they're called.
It's weird because there's like this area, and then if you land in the next area, there doesn't seem to be a good spot to get the checkpoint. So if you go just a little bit further than where we were, we may have ended up way back at
way
the border.
Worse off. Yeah.
Ah,
I don't want to talk about it.
But that ground fling allows you to skip. Usually we'll land around kind of where we are now, so it can allow for you to skip a good portion of the chapter.
As long as we get to where we're going quickly, I can be satisfied with at least something.
Like these sections where it's just kind of running and getting from puzzle to puzzle. If there's any way to speed it up, whether that be super swings or P swings or flings, we'll try and go for it. And it's more fun because even the super swings, which are just kind of the partner swing with a zoop at the end to conserve that momentum, there's an element of co-opness to it, so it feels more like we're doing the true co-op stuff. Like, if you're gonna play co-op, you might as well play to the fullest. And
That is true.
whatever you can do, just go for it.
Even if it's to our own detriment sometimes.
But it's been really fun to play. It's still fun to play. It's been a couple years, so
Yeah.
either casually or as a speedrun, I highly recommend playing. Obviously more so as a speedrun, but we're all here to go fast. We're not here to enjoy games. Come on.
Enjoy yourselves, yeah, right.
So we're gonna try and save these horses.
Little tiny firefighters. So yeah, it wasn't the kids' fault that the forest is on fire, as far as we understand.
Yeah, there was like an electric fence
Yeah.
that
Some logs
I
fell
don't even know
off
how
of a
the
truck.
log fell off.
I'm not sure how the logs fell, but that fence got wrecked.
Oh, no flips.
No flips. It's been so greedy with the flips.
Yeah, obviously if you're enjoying a game while you're playing it, something's not right. You're not doing it right. You gotta hit that reset button and go quicker. Story? Nah, get out of here. We don't
Get
have
out of
time.
here. Cutscenes? Yeah, right.
Character development? Nah.
No time for that.
But that was chapter 6.
That was
On-
chapter 6.
On to the last chapter. It's a pretty chilled chapter, thankfully.
I like the last chapter.
It starts off going right to left, which is a nice
It's fun.
little twist. You're so used to going left to right the whole game, and then all of a sudden it's like, nah, we'll just swap it up a little bit.
Well, throughout this game, you kind of have this build. You start off. We skipped one, but it's. I don't even think you see the kids in one. It's really just an intro level. You start off with the kids. It's in the city. They go to the lake. And then they find themselves in this factory in a forest fire. It gets darker. It gets harder, and then in
Running through
7,
the remnants of the fire or the forest that they burned down.
Right? Yeah.
Or somebody burned down.
Somebody.
Who
Yeah.
knows who it was?
And then 7 kind of takes all of that momentum and then it starts going the opposite direction. It's nice. It's pretty.
If you have a fear of going to the left, look away for the next like minute and a half.
Yeah. It's pretty strange.
We have the fiery dust bunnies that can survive water. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of fire and water coming up too. That's just kind of weird.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on in the rapids and Sweden, but
Yeah.
something's not right. But we got this nice chill music too.
We hope to keep it that way.
Yeah. We'll do some yarny balloon action. No, I screwed it up again.
That's all right.
Okay, good enough. So you see the kids in the background. They're coming into this little watermill that's been abandoned, and the Yarny's gonna help out by getting it started back up again. And then that'll make the rapids flow, which will be the very last section of the game.
Oh, I almost forgot.
It completely changes up how the game's kind of played. You get a double jump. It's basically all swinging at the end. There's no puzzles or anything. It's just all movement, and in co-op it means
Free range yarnies.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We used to play it where one of us would just piggyback and then somebody would swing all the way through.
It was the saddest ending.
And then Dr. Cool and Squibbles, I believe, 2 runners, found out about partner swings and
I didn't mean to
kind
put
of how
that
useful
in.
they could be, and that's when the rapids got a lot more fun, at least if you're playing co-op. So hopefully that goes decently. But we'll see in a second.
Yeah, the partner swings are real fun.
See if we can get some more goat climbs, just kind of pretend this
Okay.
puzzle's not there. We did them. I like the beginning of the 7 and the watermill because we don't actually do any of the puzzles, and this is the same regardless of what category you play.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
can just kind of skip all this stuff because none of it's technically out of bounds as far as kind of how we defined it. So it's really funny to just have all this stuff that you don't even have to do.
That first grab blue handle is more exciting than it should be.
You got no major skips, but like all the minor skips. And that's basically all the categories. It's just how much of a skip that you want to do.
How skippy are we talking?
But we are now in the fire-filled rapid section, and we have a double jump. So we're gonna chain that together with these super swings. I jumped way early. And hopefully get some pretty crazy swings if we can stay alive. To start the rapids, the checkpoints are a little bit rough. So there's this one section coming up that you need to make it pretty far before you get the a good checkpoint spot. So we'll try not to die. No guarantees. And then if you, we're not exactly sure why, but if you get to the rapids quickly enough, you maintain like this kind of post-rock kind of sad music.
Yeah,
Usually
this is the music inside of the watermill.
Yeah, usually it's like this happy kind of
really joyful,
Yeah.
beautiful music that's really like jaunty and nice.
we know we're going quickly if you hear this music, and you know things aren't going quite so well if you hear the other music.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying if we hear the other music.
It's like we didn't do something right.
Alright, so this is when it starts to become advantageous to P-swing. The swinging's the fastest
Yeah.
way of transportation around here.
Regardless of if you can zoop afterward or not,
Yeah.
if you can swing, it's gonna be quicker. So anytime we get the chance to swing, even in like no major skip, that was risky. Go for the swings and just. Oh, it's so nice.
So here we're
we
skipping
go.
parts with no... Oh no.
Probably a bad idea to go back, but.
That's fine. None of these like...
Ooh.
These little ribbons.
Okay.
I'm so proud of us.
There you go.
That was a decent one. Okay.
So we like to throw in that fling just for
Maybes,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. But the partner swings, the super swings that we can do, coupled with the double jump, is usually more than enough to get you from where you want to go to where you want to be. But there is the small chance that you can get this super massive fling that takes you all the way to the end.
Oh, death.
That's fine. Good checkpoint.
Yeah.
The only problem with coming out and doing the double jump is you use it up. And usually you either have to touch a surface or touch the water to like recharge that double jump.
Or you can grab onto the little ribbon.
Yeah, or the like lightning rod looking whatever that stuff is. But sometimes that can get a little bit wonky, especially with how we're playing the game, so. Oh yeah, time is coming up shortly. We're gonna ride down this log, and then once the screen fades to black at the end, that'll be time. So about 5 to 10 more seconds, I think, give or take. I don't know if we can get this swing at the end.
And we didn't.
Nice, that's how you want to end it.
Yeah, grab backwards.
All right, so that will be
Time.
Big
Awesome.
shout outs to Indiethon. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely,
Unravel
super
2.
enjoy this. Yeah.
Shout outs to all the runners, the donators, the people that put this together, all the tech people,
Thank you, thank you.
all the mods. You guys do awesome stuff.
That's
we enjoyed the first
awesome.
one. We are enjoying this one.
Check out Puppies Behind Bars.
Yes.
Go take a look at it, read up on it, and if you feel like it and if you can, please donate. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I think Indiethon is one of my favorite marathons now, just because these are the kinds of games that we really enjoy
Truly.
playing and watching, and it's cool seeing some games that you don't normally maybe don't get the chance to see. So
Now we get to binge on them.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's like all these games that we've heard about or want to play, and it's like here they all are. Just enjoy.
Yeah.
But we see all the Yarnies together, and then the darkness goes away, and it's all a happy ending.
So, if you remember in the first Unravel, the whole point is you're trying to get to the lighthouse. I don't know if this is the same lighthouse. My romantic brain likes to think that, you know, that it is. They're all kind of connected. But here they're putting in the light, and that kind of vanquishes this darkness.
All right. Any other shout outs you'd like to make before we jump into a break?
Just shout outs to Coldwood for making some great games. Really appreciate the love and the effort they put into Unravel 1 and 2. And yeah, if you got anything.
No, just that I'm real thankful. Thanks.
Thanks for that.
No. Thank you. That was a great run. Great commentary. Cute game.
Cute game.
And, thanks for all the nice words for Indiethon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're trying our best here, making a cool marathon featuring indie games.
Great
raising
success.
some money for some good causes. So thanks for that. We appreciate that. And talking about great games, we will be jumping into a quick intermission, and when we come back, we'll get to see another great indie game, which is going to be Primal Light. So please don't go anywhere, and we will see you right after this break.